So we just did the zigzag seam allowance along the bottom edge. The side edge is going to use the sergers. These are really fun machines and they can be a little intimidating at first, but you're going to learn to just love serging because it goes super fast. And that might sound scary, but you'll be okay. When you come over, there's probably going to be, it's going to be off. So on this right side, there's a black switch. You just switch that forward and that turns it on. Some of them have lights that'll turn on. Some of them, the lights have just burnt out and I've never gone to replace them, but they're still on. So as we look at this, there's a couple of rules that I need you to pay attention to as you are using a serger. And this is printed on absolutely every single serger. Do not use the presser foot lifter. Yes, there is a presser foot lifter, but guess what? When this presser foot is up, it looks almost the same as when it's down. So we don't even use it. What we do instead is we literally pick up the presser foot and put our fabric underneath. You always want to see loopy threads coming out the end of this machine. If you see just straight threads, this is probably from when I started threading it, that's not good. You always want to look behind the machine. If there is a smiley face, that means the machine works. If there is a frowny face, that means the machine is not working and you don't want to use it. Now, the thing about sergers, there are 2 needles, there are 4 threads, and it is a complicated beast to try and thread. So whatever you do, don't let it break because it takes me a good while to fix it. So what I'm going to do, make sure that I have thread coming off the side. I'm going to pick up my presser foot and I'm going to put it underneath. There's a lip right here, and I just like to line up the edge of my fabric with that lip. And as I go, this little part right here is going to move up and down. This is probably as slow as I can make a serger go. And what that's going to do is it's going to cut off anything that's hanging off over the edge. So if it's fraying, it'll cut that off. If there's any threads, it'll cut that off. And this part is just kind of a little trash can. So you can just let it all kind of go in there. We're going to go all the way down the edge. And right off the end. Now at this point, we would pick up the presser foot, pull the fabric out. But this one, number 2 step says, continue serging to leave a thread tail. Do not pull fabric or thread out. So if you pull this out, everything's breaking. So we're just going to continue to sew. And I want you to keep sewing until the thread comes at least over, your fabric comes over the edge of the side. At that point, you can either use scissors, or I usually have some thread clippers that you could just cut the end of your thread there with. You can also, if you don't have those available, you can actually use the blade itself to cut off the end of your thread. You will still have a little tail in which you do want scissors nearby. Usually trim that side off, trim this side off. And you can see the edge that it does. Normally it's a little bit tighter. I need to adjust some things, but this is the edge that a serge is going to give. And this gives it a really professional looking edge that you can't get with just a regular machine. So that's the specialty of a serger. And from here on out, we are going to be using a serger on every project. So once you have your zigzag, you have your serge, bring it up to be graded.